All right, now let's talk a little bit more about the differences between ales and lagers. We'll start first with lagers. Well, what is a lager? Lager literally means, in German, lagern, to store. Like we were talking about before, it's a bottom fermenting yeast, and it ferments at lower temperatures. Now you have to lager or store beer close to freezing for several weeks in order to make lager. The lager is usually characterized by a crisp tasting, lighter bodied, and less fruity aroma when compared to ales. Now, lager is a more recent example of beer than ales are, but lagers these days are the most widely consumed part of beer. So, when people ask a general question, what is there more of? Is there more of a lager or is there more of an ale? There's going to be, in volume, more lagers consumed in the world, but by variety, more ales. What is an ale? Well, until lagers came around, all beer was ale. Yeast in ales is top fermenting and it ferments at higher temperatures. Now remember, this is in direct contrast to lager yeast, which is bottom fermenting and ferments at lower temperatures. Ale yeast also ferments less fully and less discriminately than does lager yeast, and it's characterized by more fruity flavors and aromas with a malty, full-bodied flavor. Now, this is a huge picture, and I couldn't even fit a third of it on the slide. I just want you to pay attention to how many different varieties stem from ale yeast, as opposed to how many different varieties stem from the lager yeast. There's just a lot more variety of ales out there than there are lagers. Ale yeast is much more pliable, it's much easier to work with. Now, because of this, ales are the primary style being brewed today by American craft breweries. It's like this because they have a much quicker turnaround time. Remember, lagers have to store for usually a period of weeks, and small craft breweries just don't have the space, the time, or the money to do that kind of brewing. There's far more varieties of ale to choose from than there are lagers, and ales usually, in general, offer far bigger and more aggressive flavors and aromas. They also take better to treatments and variations. You don't see a whole lot of barrel-aged lagers out there.